Hi, Robbie here. It's another Thursday morning, a little chilly, but here I am, sitting in the patio, thinking about last Tuesday's election. Uh, Going into the election, lots of races were really tight, very unpredictable, and as usual, um, some surprises and some situations are ongoing, and that's no surprise either. Uh, I'm thinking about the elections because I think we've all gotten used to having elections and concerned about the details of the election and not so much concerned about the alternative to having elections in the first place. Uh, I'm I'm really happy that we have an election and that our country is governed by some measure of the will of the citizens rather than the will of some authority figure or a king or an emperor or somebody like that who's not accountable for the decisions uh, and the citizens don't have a voice. Um, I'm happy that we have an election in the first place. And uh, it, it reminds me that years ago, Bunch was reading a story uh, in the newspaper or in a book, I don't remember, but it contained a phrase, you get used to a place. And it struck her. And when she told me about it, it struck me too, because it reminded me how often and how easily we get accustomed to taking for granted the way things are. And it reminds me nowadays, whenever I confront a new situation that I have to deal with, I think about how I'm going to respond to that situation because before too long, I'll get used to the place. I'll get used to the situation and think that's the way it has to be. That's the way it is. That's the way life is these days. And actually, it isn't. It's the way I've chosen to respond to a new situation. So, however the election finally turns out, we should be thinking about the consequences of the election as something that we're very fortunate to have in the first place, that we are citizens in a country that still values the decisions and the will of the people. I think that's a good idea. And I'm thinking about that, and that's what I'm thinking about today. I'll talk with you again next Thursday.